The IBFP is not for everyone. Everyone doesn't like the IBFP. The IBFP is not made for everyone. So let me break it down. And happy holidays to everybody. The first thing is, if you are a booty clapper, this is not for you. If you like to fall in love in prison, this is not for you. If your asshole gets tight by the sound of my voice, this is not for you. If you pee sitting down, this is not for you. If your breath smells like nuts, this is not for you. If you like to look at a man's face, this is not for you. If you go suck on an elote, this is not for you. If you like to play Hyper Churro, this is not for you. So let's just be honest and unbiased. Shout out to Pleasant Grove, Dallas, Texas. Salute to you, my brother. Salute everybody. I don't know who's out there sitting down when they pee. I don't know who's falling in love in prison. I don't know whose asshole's getting tight. But the landlord is back. We got a great fight this weekend. It's David Benavidez versus Demetrius Boo-Boo Andrade. This is going to be an excellent fight. The IBFP is only for the real. You get a lot of people in their emotions, their feelings. These guys don't really want to speak boxing. They don't really want to tell the truth. So we really got to give our predictions on what we will believe will happen. If you want to drop your prediction in the chat, or if you simply want to come on live, I just dropped the link. You can give your prediction anyway on here. And you can come on here. Hold on. I got a comment I got to read. I got to read it. My brother Julio Martinez says, Nuke, what up? My excellence. He said, my girl said she wants to give you some of that turkey neck. Happy Thanksgiving, my G. Hey, my brother, if your girl, let me just get this cleared up for the chat. You know, I have to start doing relationship advice. If your girl wants to give me some turkey neck, she ain't your girl. She's the community's girl. She belongs to the community. She's for everybody. It kind of like Southpaw Mama. You know, Southpaw Mama, she belonged to everybody. Everybody. That's all we saying. That's all we saying if we being honest and unbiased about it all. I mean, we got to do it. Everybody drop your predictions. We're going to get everybody's prediction. We going live. I want to hear what everybody got to say. Everybody. Victor Vasquez look like he's the first. Salute, Victor. What's good with you, my brother? Victor, you're on with the IBFP. What's good, my brother? Victor, I can't hear you. Victor, you're on Metro PCS service. I need you to come on, Victor.
Oh, what's up, Nick? Sorry, I was updating something. Can you hear me?
It's all good, my brother. Salute. Now, I just want to ask you, we got the David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade. What's your prediction? Who do you see winning this fight?
All right. Like I've been saying long before this fight was announced, it's a 50-50 fight right now. It's
I
a
can't hear
50-50.
you. Your background is a little too loud, my brother. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring you back on. I'm going to get someone else's prediction. You get that sorted out. We get somebody else on here. My brother, Caesar D, what's good with you? Caesar D, what's good? Caesar D, I don't know what's going on. Caesar D, get your life worked out, my brother. My brother, Hit Kid in the building.
At least someone's working.
I know. Hold on, Hit Kid. I got to address one thing. I know I made a video about it, but Jermall Charlo.
Oh, my God. The biggest...
who comes in overweight?
The biggest clown in boxing. The biggest clown in boxing does it.
But you got to catch weight and you still don't make weight. 4 pounds. This was a mistake putting Thanksgiving next to the fight. This was a mistake.
He had too much turkey. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to the viewers of the IBFP. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm from the UK, but I can wish it to everyone.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Quickly, before we get on to the fight prediction.
Go for it.
What a fucking idiot. One, WBC, your scum, you should strip Jermall Charlo right now. He should be stripped immediately, right on the fucking spot of that 160 belt. He's never getting to 160 again. That's the fact. Strip him, vacate the belt, put the belt on someone else. Hello to the gentleman as well. Two, let's just be brutally honest here. This fight tomorrow, I am dubbing it the winner is the next Canelo victim fight, ladies and gentlemen.
And so hold on, Hit Kid. Before we move on, because I know these brothers got some hell of a prediction. I got to get your prediction. Demetrius Andrade, is he the guy they say he is? Is he going to go in there and outbox David Benavidez, look like Floyd Mayweather, and look like the best fighter you've ever seen in your life times 10? Is Demetrius Andrade going to go in here, shock the world, and school David Benavidez, surprise everybody? What's going to happen in this fight?
You go first, Noah.
Hold on. I want Hit Kid to go. Hit Kid.
No, I go first.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think this will be a really close fight. I see this as a 50-50 fight. I'll be clear. If Andrade does it, a lot of us are going to eat shit. Truthfully. Because he's fought no one. We can all agree on that. He's fought no one of this quality at all. But he would be able to talk a lot of shit going into the Canelo fight where he'll get knocked out. However, I think Andrade's age will catch up with him. I think he'll gaslight rounds because of Benavidez' work rate. I think David Benavidez stops Andrade in rounds 10 and 11, around that range.
Oh, wow. That's an excellent prediction. I do got one thing I want to speak to is that I don't think I'm going to eat any kind of shit. And the reason why I say that, it doesn't matter who wins for me, whether it's Andrade or Benavidez. I think Canelo beats them both. That's my opinion.
I agree.
But the reason why I don't feel like I would eat shit is because it's not my fault Demetrius Andrade hasn't fought anybody up to this point. And it's also not my fault that the fact that he has no body of work to show us what he can be. So at the end of the day, if he beats David Benavidez, we've been telling people David Benavidez has a shit ton of flaws himself.
Yeah.
Defensively, footwork, IQ, all of this other shit. So both of these guys are flawed fighters in their own ways. David Benavidez is extremely flawed technically. So at the end of the day, if you beat a technically flawed fighter, that makes you the greatest fighter on earth. But we know Demetrius Andrade say, I'm the king of the world if I beat this guy. And David Benavidez is going to say the same thing.
So wait, before anyone answers, Demetrius Andrade is pulling a Javante Tank Davis over Ryan Garcia. I mean, let's just be blunt here. Because that's what all the Tank Davis fans do. True or false? They say he's the best fighter in the world now after beating technically flawed Ryan Garcia, who wasn't a world champion. That's
true. And I mean, I think the worst thing for Demetrius Andrade is that even if he wins this fight, I believe there's a rematch clause. So I heard an interview with Demetrius Andrade yesterday where he talked about if he were to win, there's likely going to be a rematch with him and David Benavidez. Because I think there's a one-way rematch only if David Benavidez loses. If David Benavidez wins, he can move on. If he loses, they're likely to run this back. But let's go. Let's get the prediction. No, who do you got? How you got him? Who wins?
Well, I'll have to agree with what Hickett said about this being a 50-50 fight. But if I had to pick one, I'd say just slightly Andre, because he's got more basic skill than Benavidez. Because like you said, Benavidez' skill is like lackluster in terms of footwork, defense, head movement, and all that. So I guess it will go to either a majority decision for Andre. That's the best way I could put it,
That's not a bad prediction. Do you think that anybody's going to get hurt in this fight? Do you think Andre has the power to keep Benavidez off, or he's going to rely solely on skill?
Solely on skill, because let's be honest, Andre, he ain't no spring chicken. He's been the 40-year-old prospect for like God knows how fucking long. I mean, come on, let's be real here,
I've always kind of looked at this as a close fight because both of these guys are deficient. I mean, I think if Benavidez can go in there and touch this guy, he puts him down. I mean, I've seen Damon Nicholson drop him. I've seen, and if Damon Nicholson, journeyman, can land a shot on Demetrius Andrade, who's supposed to be so elusive, I don't see why David Benavidez can't land a combination. But if Damon Nicholson can do it, Benavidez can't. I think that's my thought process when I look at this. I see a guy like Vanes Monterosian, another journeyman. He can land a shot, put Andrade down, but Benavidez can't land anything. I think Benavidez is going to throw a lot of shots. I think he's going to come forward. And I also think that he has a few tricks up his sleeve. I would hope that this is be a more I hope that whatever happens in the fight, that the only thing, unlike the Shakur Stevenson fight, I hope that the judges reward somebody that's actually trying to make the fight happen. I don't want Andrade to be a negative fighter, not really active, but thinking he wins a round because he throws 1 or 2 jabs and runs away. You got to land some shots. You got to be willing to get dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Shakur, that fight was a disgrace.
Disgrace.
Listen, I'm a Shakur fan. I think most people are. But that last week was a disgusting performance.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was having trouble sleeping last night through the Shakur fight on, went right to bed. So that worked out for me. Shout out to the son of New Jersey, the fat bitch slayer himself, my brother from another mother. Who do you got in this fight? Why do you got him? What do you see here?
Well, first off, I want to say happy holidays to everyone here. So I'm drinking a cup of hot cocoa, because guess what? Someone's going to enjoy their turkey tonight, and someone's not. So I actually got 3 predictions on how this actually could go.
Talk to us.
Benavidez, number 1 could be Benavidez by a close but unanimous decision, kind of like the Caleb Plant fight. Number 2 could be Benavidez by TKO in 10 rounds, and a come from behind win where Andrade is, I would say, slightly up on the cards, 86-84, but then Benavidez will pick it up, and then this, I think he probably would batter Andrade on the ropes, and then the referee would stop it. Or number 3 could be what Noah said. Andrade majority decision only if he does not get tired and he doesn't huff and puff, in the 10th round.
Now, if you got to stick with one prediction and you're going to put your nuts on the line, what's that prediction?
Benavidez close unanimous decision. 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm gonna pick David Benavidez to win. I think Demetrius Andre is gonna. I think he's gonna get the early rounds, kind of like Caleb Plant. I think Benavidez is gonna pick it up, put a little pressure. I've seen every time somebody put a little bit of pressure on Andrade, he didn't really like it. But I expect to see the best version of Andrade, turning this guy, looking for different angles. But because he's never been at this stage and he fought such a shit caliber of opponent for his whole career, I think that's going to show up in this fight too. And I think he's going to get caught somewhere. I think he's not going to see it coming. He's not going to expect it, and that's when he's going to get stopped. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to be a late stoppage. I think it's going to be somewhere around the 10th, 11th round.
Like I said,
something where people don't really see it. I mean, if Andrade pulls it out and he does it, he proves me wrong. Great for him. I don't really rate Benavidez skills-wise that great. So I think even if Andrade wins, you're going to hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's going to school Canelo," or "This proves he beats Canelo." I'm just saying. You know how people think they're going to say, "Oh, this translates to Canelo," even though Canelo's not unskilled like Benavidez.
Could I actually say something though?
Yeah,
on this point. I actually think Andrade will last longer in the ring with Canelo than Benavidez.
Do you think Andrade would still get stopped, or
yes. I think they both get stopped by Canelo.
How many rounds are you giving both of them?
I give Andrade. I would say Andrade gets on his bike, so Andrade I'd give 8 rounds. Benavidez I only give 5.
5 rounds?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
5 maybe less. He's too open. He's that bad defensively, and Canelo can hit, as we all know.
I think Canelo will make easy work of Boo Boo 7 rounds, and I think Canelo will put a Crawford Spence type of ass whooping on Benavidez for 9 rounds.
And you know what? It would be damn satisfying to see that. I'll tell you that much.
Both of them will be.
To be honest, I kind of want Boo Boo to win this fight just because if he loses this fight, what is he going to be labeled as? A fucking hype job if he loses this fight.
I want everyone on Twitter to fucking ruin Kalicious Shields' life as well.
Because you already know Nuke is going to
shut the fuck up, man.
You already know Nuke is going to go in on Andrade fanboys. if he loses.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like Benavidez and I like Andrade. I actually like both of those guys. It's their fan bases sometimes that annoy me with the narratives that they present. And the only thing I'll say is I like both of them as fighters, but I think they're both being dramatically overrated when it comes to everybody else. That's all I'm saying. Like when Andrade called Bivol a basic fighter, he said, "Oh, Canelo got beat by just a basic fighter." If he's so basic, then take your ass up there and whoop his ass. You could do what Canelo. That would force a Canelo fight right there. You go up there, school Bivol, come back with his belt and say, "Canelo, you got to fight me." Who would not call for that fight? But I think that this is why one of these guys is going to get exposed. If Andrade loses this fight, he's going to have to be considered exposed. You went your whole career. You finally come in there, get your cherry popped, and you lose. You're supposed to be the slick black fighter that can school any flat-footed, one-dimensional Mexican, but you can't do it. So you better win this fight. David Benavidez better win this fight because they said this man's a killer and he'll knock out everybody. If he don't do it, then he's not who they say he is. Neither one of these guys is a fraud. One of these guys is not who they say he is. We're going to find out Saturday who is not who they say they are. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, all I'm going to say is look at the track record for slick back fighters recently.
Oh man!
I mean, Stephen Fulton, Jermall Charlo, anybody?
Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. I mean, yikes!
Oh, the Errol Spence fight. Oh
That's
man,
2 L's. That's 2 L's. Derek James has got so far this year. 2 L's.
Not a good track record.
And
Why do you think Joshua? I think is abandoning him and going to Ben Davison more.
That's a good move, honestly.
I think that was really a great move. Personally, I like Ben Davison.
I can't wait for that heavyweight card. By the way,
wait a minute though. Is Ben Davison like Tyson Fury's like?
No, Fury binned him off, and I do not want to rant on Fury tonight.
Yeah. Let me ask you: Is Ryan Garcia with Derek James, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh God.
I'm anxious to see how he looks with Derek James. I mean, maybe he can get more from that relationship.
Nope.
We'll see. We shall see. Because I think Ryan Garcia did the trendy move by going with a popular trainer instead of somebody that fits him.
Yeah. Well, he what is it? It's Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte the fight, and then it's the core main event. Well, you know how Rolly vacated the belt because of his injury.
Yeah,
it's for an interim WBA 140 with Barroso and O'Hara Davis.
Hold on 1 second. This guy said Ray Jackson says Tank is the face of boxing. Somebody, hold on, guys. Somebody, I just want to get this announcement. And sometimes I see a comment, I just got to address it. Somebody tell Ray Jackson to eat a bag of dicks. Thank you. Eat a bag of dicks. Put some salt and pepper on them and eat a bag of dicks. Enjoy yourself, Ray Jackson. Max Guzman, you're on with the landlord. Are you there, Max Guzman? Max Guzman.
Hello? Sorry. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, hey,
Who do you got in this fight? Benavidez, Andre.
Well, first I want to say happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a great time with your families.
Thank you.
For me, this is going to be a tough one. I'll be honest. So I always try to look at like their qualities and what they have, and all seriousness, they both lack a lot, like you've all said. That being said, I'm going to honestly, the way I see it, I think you just said it not that long ago, that if Benavidez loses, that he can initiate that rematch. And I actually think Andrade might have a little chance at winning. I'm not saying he's a slick black fighter because, clearly he's been dropped multiple times by journeymen. But the same has been said about Benavidez. So that being said, it just kind of makes it hard for me to and on top of that, I always go on their past fight. And it's been said multiple times, like Canelo took out Caleb Plant with an injured hand, yet Benavidez couldn't even take him out being a healthy young guy. Like, come on. So that being said, I would honestly edge Andrade a little bit because I could kind of see a little excitement if they were to go to a rematch and even possibly a trilogy match. That's just kind of how I see it. But I technically have Benavidez by stoppage. So either Benavidez by stoppage or Andrade by decision. But I don't think it's ever going to go towards Andrade, because they've been building up Benavidez versus Canelo for like so long, which to me is also very annoying because I would rather see him fight Bivol. But I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to, talk over you guys.
No worries, but no worries. Thanks for jumping on, Max. I appreciate it, man. Go enjoy the fight, and just check us out post-fight. Thank you.
Yeah, no, awesome. I can't wait. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving or
You
weekend.
too, man. Bust some cheeks. All right. So
Luke, I got a question.
Go for it, my brother.
My ex-girlfriend, the one who I busted them cheeks about 4 months ago, she sent me questions that she's got for you regarding to boxing.
Oh man, what do you got?
Well, this number one question is for all of us. She said, who do you think has the best chance stylistically to give Canelo problems at 168? Stylistically. For me, David Morrell.
At first, I thought Morrell too. The only thing I don't really like about Morrell, his head is there to be hit a little more often. He doesn't move his head a lot. It seems to be placed centrally quite a bit. And just watching a lot of tape on it, because at first I thought maybe David Morrell. I would just expect if Morrell keeps developing and keep moving his head and moving like that, using movement, then I'll say maybe Morrell, because he has power, he has movement, he has height, he has reach, he has a jab, he has all those things. But if he fought him tomorrow, I think Canelo stops him. I don't think that goes 12 rounds. I think Canelo stops him. He's there to be hit, but Morrell has to keep developing, has to keep challenging himself. If he does that, I think he can be the threat down the line. Hey, kid, what do you think?
I love David Morrell. I'm going to make this clear. I'm really high on Morrell, okay? However, I'm not going to pick Morrell because I'm going to pick someone who I don't think will fight Canelo because they're very young, okay? But in my opinion, they are the one who looked really good this past weekend and came for a really tough hazing fight for their young career. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep an eye on Diego Pacheco.
Oh yeah, Pacheco.
He looks super promising. He was in a tough fight this past weekend, against Marcelo Cosares. That was he got hurt in that fight.
Did better than Berlanga. Did better than Berlanga, I tell you that.
Yeah, he schooled him, but that was a guy Berlanga struggled with.
Dropped as well.
Yeah, I think Diego Pacheco. Let me be clear. I don't see Pacheco fighting Canelo at all. Can I be clear? Because of his young age.
I think Canelo's only. I don't think his challenges lie. In my opinion, I guess to answer the question directly, I don't think his challenges lie at 68. I think they lie at 75.
Yeah, I agree. But that's why I'm like, though, if there was one 168 guy who I think could be the heir apparent to the division, I think it's Pacheco over Morrell.
I think him and Morrell is the future of the division, but I don't think either one of those guys will step in right now and.
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
And do that. Hold on. Let me read from the Gooch. I don't know why he has the name of the Gooch, but he's the Gooch. I've been listening to you for a few years now. Love the channel. I love your takes. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate the love and support of the channel. Caesar D, are you there, my brother? I know you're cleaning out your car, but I just wanted to see if you want to drop your prediction on my brother. Benavidez, Andrade, if you want to kind of break that down for us real quick, and then we're going to get back to Son of New Jersey's questions. I know we got a lot of them. I know your girlfriend, she loves them quite. I'm just
she's got four more.
Salute to the panel. Salute. Can y'all hear me?
Salute. Yeah, we can hear you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. It's a long time no see, IBFP. And,
absolutely, my brother.
For this fight, man, I call it the battle of the frauds. It's just too much going on with both of them. The conferences, man, it's so cringe, bro. I can't. The first one, man. But either way, yeah, fam, it's just gonna be. I see I don't see Benavidez dropping or hurting Andrade. I really, ever since that Caleb Plant fight, he was hurt the whole half fight, and he couldn't even drop him, bro. So. I say, if Andrade can beat him to the last 4 rounds, if Benavidez wins like the first 7, he might beat him.
Hold on, Caesar. Hold on. Is your phone up? Turn your phone down.
Yeah, I have my AirPod on. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Okay, yeah. So what was your final prediction?
Yeah. So if Andrade, I see Andrade beating Benavidez but if he does win the fight, it might be a robbery for Benavidez. I've seen too many robberies this year, so they might give it to Benavidez. That's how I'm seeing it. But Benavidez, he has a decent jab. That's the only thing. And Andrade, I don't really like his style. But he is a southpaw, so it's gonna be a first time for Benavidez. So it might be dangerous for Benavidez, you know. So
Absolutely. I'm just muted for 1 second. Hold on. Everybody mute for 1 second. I'm getting an echo somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. All right, let me see. All right, yeah, that's perfect. So I don't know who's the echo come from, but it came from somebody. The only thing I'll say is I could see a robbery too, but it could go either direction, honestly. I just hope that there would be a clear-cut winner. One of these guys got to be better than the other. Somebody just got to be better than the other. I don't know. Caesar, what do you don't see anybody getting? Do you think Benavidez could get hurt by Andrade in this fight? Do you think Andrade is strong enough to hurt him?
I see Benavidez. He you know how he's not good on his back feet. On his back foot, he's not good at all. He's always trying to step up. Andrade is gonna try and pressure him if he even can. But he might hurt Benavidez in a way. I say to like a body shot. If he does a good body shot, he might hurt Benavidez. But at the end of the match, they might give it to Benavidez because in this topic, I see Benavidez making more money than Andrade. Andrade doesn't really have a big fan base. So in that case, they might give it to Benavidez. That's how I see it.
I'm going to be honest, Andrade and Benavidez, both fan bases kind of consist of Canelo haters mostly. And that's just from what I've seen, because anytime I hear somebody bring up Benavidez or Andrade to me, whether it's on social media or just YouTube or anywhere, they always talk about Canelo this, Canelo that. Canelo is not the epicenter of these guys' careers. So just tell me about your fighter and what they can do, but not mentioning Canelo every 10 minutes. I don't understand that. And this guy, the famous Aiken McCall, whatever your name is, this guy comments on my videos all the time. And he always leaves these disrespectful comments to me. So, and look, I'm not mad at you. I'm cool with it. Just go ahead and click on the link real quick, because I would love to hear you talk to me. That would be great that we could have this conversation. And if we got any issues, we can work them out now, because you've accused me of being racially biased, all of these other things. I would love to just talk to you real quick. And, because I know you're in the chat, I hope you don't disappear after me calling you out. Please don't disappear. Please click the link. Please, it's available. Go ahead and click the link, jump in, and let's see what you got, man. The son of New Jersey, what's another question she had for us?
All right. Question 2 would be, she said, since Bud Crawford is willing to go up to 168, aside from Canelo, do you think he beats Benavidez, Caleb Plant, Jermall Charlo, and David Morrell?
No. I think anybody has it. I think David Morrell, no. Benavidez, no.
Caleb
Even Charlo is going to be as undisciplined as Charlo is. I'm not just going to shit on the guy. He's a big, strong guy, and Crawford's not knocking him out. He's too big. I think that's going to be a difficult fight. None of these guys are Errol Spence. The size difference is just too much. I think it's going to be really, really difficult for Crawford to get any of those wins. He's going to have to show me that he can beat somebody that's more of a journeyman type of guy first, just to see how he does at the weight. I think his skill set will be diminished because he's so small. All these guys have power advantages. It's different from knocking out a guy at 147 than it is a guy at 168. That's a massive jump.
It's a free weight division jump, isn't it?
Yep.
And just because he thinks he's all that, just because you beat Errol Spence, I'm like, dude, you haven't fought, even a Keith Thurman, inactive, you still haven't fought him. You haven't fought Jermall. You haven't fought Boots Ennis. You've been avoiding Virgil Ortiz, playing matchmaker with that guy, basically saying, "Oh, you need to fight me, machine," just so you can have him go off your ass.
Absolutely. I don't know, man. I think he needs to do more to prove that he can compete with those guys, because I don't think that he's done anything to prove that.
I agree.
He got to prove it to me. That's what he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
What's another question she got, son?
Lomachenko versus Ryan Garcia at the moment.
I'm gonna go with Lomachenko.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That might be
Loma by murder.
I'm gonna go with Loma.
For
Loma
me,
by murder.
Loma by knockout.
Yeah, Loma by vicious knockout.
here's the way I look at it. Because people are going to be like, oh, but didn't he get dropped by Jorge Linares? And I'll be like, okay, a prime Jorge Linares is better than Ryan Garcia at the moment. And that is
That's a no contest.
because we've seen Ryan Garcia get dropped by Luke Campbell. And mind you, Lomachenko has already decisioned Luke Campbell. He's already beat him.
12-0, by the way. 12-0. Campbell didn't win a
I
round.
was nice to Luke Campbell. I only gave him one round. I was only nice to him.
It was 12-0.
And then I think Loma stopped Jorge Linares with a body shot, I thought.
Yeah, it was a body shot. And now, like, let's say, because Ryan Garcia, as we all know, in his last fight, like, yes, both of them are coming off a loss, but Ryan Garcia is coming off of a more humiliating loss, coming off a knockout loss. And if Lomachenko pressures him the whole fight, Ryan's likely getting beat to a pulp again.
It's not
Even
like
without
that.
the rehydration.
He is
clause.
getting beat to the pulp.
Yeah,
Without the
I just don't see
rehydration
it.
clause.
I got Loma all the way.
And now she's got 2 more questions. First, the number 4 would be: do you think Prime Bud could beat the past greatest, like the welterweights from the past era? As she names Prime Duran, Prime Leonard, Hearns, Money Mayweather, and Hagler.
I think all of those would be very, very competitive fights because none of those guys are Errol Spence. I think we got to look at Hall of Famers completely different. I mean, even Bomac said that Errol Spence was a product of the media, created a hype job type of guy. This is what Bomac said.
Yeah, Bomac was right.
And so if we look at it like that, I think all of those guys give Bud Crawford. I think Bud Crawford, out of all those fights, he might win 2 of them, might lose 2 or 3.
That's what. Yep.
I think the fight he has the best chance of winning is against Mayweather.
The only one I think he'll get brutally knocked out is Tommy Hearns. I think Tommy Hearns will make him look like Roberto Duran on the ground, or probably even worse.
The hitman was a problem.
And the last question, she said, do you think Anthony Joshua has to make a statement against Otto Wallin by knocking him out to prove to everyone that the monster AJ is back? And if we get the monster AJ that was running through Klitschko, Dillian White, Povetkin, if that version can beat Deontay Wilder?
I'll just say if he dominates Otto Wallin, so let's say he doesn't knock him out, but he drops him 3 or 4 times, just ragdolls him the whole fight. I mean, just something like that, then I would say, maybe we can see that. I just don't want to see a hesitant, tentative Joshua that looks unsure of his conditioning, unsure of whether he should throw a shot or not. All of that type of stuff is what makes me feel like Joshua, he's going to be in danger.
He's almost standing there.
I don't want to see Anthony Shakur Joshua fight because with all that running around, and just being defensive, like, bro, you got to let go of your hands and take on a risk and knock him out.
I want to come in here that quick. I'm going to be honest. I think Joshua will knock out Wallin out. I think it'll happen around round 6. In my opinion, I think the fighter who has some of the proof on December 23rd is Wilder.
Well, because now I can finally say Deontay Wilder is going to have the second best name on his resume, Joseph Parker.
Parker better than Ortiz. Sorry,
he's better than Luis Ortiz. It doesn't matter.
I'd say it's his best name on his resume if Wilder beats him.
Otto Wallin, yep.
Yeah, and mind you, Otto Wallin is a guy that gave Tyson Fury a lot of fits. So if AJ could do something that Fury could not do, then I got him stopping Deontay Wilder.
Oh, I'll stick by what I've said for a year. Newt can attest me to this, and I know I'm from the UK, so you could say bias. I have Joshua brutally beating Wilder, and I've stuck with that for years.
Everybody knows that. Yep.
South Africa's in the chat. Kenwall, what's good with you, man? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy. What's up?
What's good, my brother? What do you think about the Benavidez Andrade fight all the way from South Africa? Who do you got winning? How do you see it playing out?
Obviously, I'm gonna pick Benavidez. I think he's gonna batter this clown pillar to post. Gotta be honest with you, and also happy Thanksgiving to America. God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
And do you
Oh
you,
yeah.
you think it's going to be a stoppage? How long do you think the fight's going to last?
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if it lost like 3 rounds because
Oh my
fucking
god.
Woo!
Andrade is fucking fragile as fuck. You've seen it. This guy's a fucking joke. Yap, 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 yap. I wanna fight Triple G, but everybody's scared of me. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking clown.
I'm just going to say this right now.
I'll be RB.
If Demetrius Andre gets blasted out in 3 rounds,
I'm gonna laugh.
that will be
Oh, I'll be
like
unbearable.
he would be the biggest hype job like that I can even think of. Like you cannot get to this level and get blasted out in 3 rounds with the hype around you. That would be humiliating. I would assume David Benavidez is still getting warmed up at the 3rd round, but if he's
And let me
him in 3
let me
rounds,
tell you this. Now
what's
let me
that?
tell you this. Let me tell you this. I think who's this Caleb Plant is much tougher than fucking Andrade, because in my opinion Caleb Plant is a little bit more battle tested than Andrade, even though he's younger and he's an orthodox fighter, but they're very, very similar. Just that the big difference is Andrade relies more on his athletic ability. Benavidez, he's a little bit defensively flawed. The only thing that will help Benavidez is that he's younger and he has faster hands.
That's true.
This is really intriguing. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be very difficult to tell which guy is really what they say they are. The only guy that we've seen kind of tested is Benavidez, and he showed that he can overcome losing the early rounds against a guy like Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant seems to be kind of tough, though. I mean, we've seen him. What Canelo stopped him in the 11th round. So I mean, that fight did go quite a while before he got stopped.
Yeah.
And so he could be a little bit tougher of an out than we believe. We really just don't know how fragile Andrade is, because it seemed like if you're getting dropped by Journeyman, I don't think I've ever
He
seen
is fragile as fuck.
Journeyman.
He is. Now he's fragile AF. And also another thing. Let me get to the other Charlo. This fucking clown is a fucking disgrace to boxing. Him and his dumbass brother, and his brother fucking ducked fucking Tim Tszyu.
Yep.
It's an embarrassment, both of them.
Very true.
I think Tim Tszyu would have beaten. I think Tim Tszyu would have beaten the crap out of Little Charlo. I think Little Charlo ran up to 168 just to get a big payday.
Yeah.
Man.
It wasn't
calling
like
that.
it was literally like Charlo wasn't in the fight, if that makes sense, or to the whole press conference.
I second that.
Yeah. No, I think let me say this. I think I'm gonna let me just say this. Fuck Jermall Charlo. Strip this fucking clown.
Yes.
Strip this fucking clown. Let fucking Janibek. Oh yeah, speaking of oh yeah, you guys also know that Janibek. You guys must know that fucking Andrade also ducked Janibek,
Oh, we all
right?
know.
We all
We
know.
all know.
Yeah.
We all know that he ran like a bitch.
Duck, duck, goose.
Yeah. Let me get to Janibek. I think they should just fucking strip fucking Charlo, let Carlos Adames and Janibek handle this situation once and for all, because the middleweight division has been a mess since Charlo since Canelo left, and Triple G has been semi-retired. It kind of was that.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm not understanding is there's a guy in the chat I called out a while ago, always comment on the video, never clicked the link, never showed up. I think that's one thing I hate about a lot of this stuff. These guys talk all that stuff on the stuff, on the chat.
Is it Alien the Hitter?
No, it's this guy. It's this guy, the famous Aiken McCall. This guy talk all this trash in the chat. Then I put my nuts on his chin. He ain't got nothing to say. He's sitting. He don't want to get over here and man up and come in here and.
Why would that shock us?
I'm sure it's one of. Let me tell you this. I'm sure it's one of Southpaw's little bitches or I don't know.
That's cold. That was
Probably
cold.
punch drunks.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that to
Oh
Punch.
fuck.
These are two of Punch Drunk's boys that are going to be going at it. So Punch Drunk's going to be upset when one of them
Oh,
gets
shit.
sent to hell
Ah,
tomorrow.
good.
Punch drunk does be sitting on Andrade's nuts all the time. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
No,
guys. I've heard
no.
people say this is the
Have you
fight between the monster and the boogeyman. Boogeyman don't run from Janabek. That's all I'm saying. Boogeyman don't do that. Because if you say you're willing to fight Chris Eubank, but you're not willing to fight Janabek, what does that tell you?
That's the money fight in the division.
Or
for
Zach
me.
Parker.
Yeah, or Zach Parker. That's the money fight in the middleweight division. Like, I let me be clear. I get why they may want to do the Eubank Conor Ben fight here in the UK. It's a big pay-per-view deal, okay?
Hold on. He said he'd do it for $1 million. $1 million a Eubank. And rather than
Janabek, let me tell you this.
He wanted to fight
Let me tell you this.
Wow, Eubank.
Can I say this? Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Janabek is gonna knock the living LGBTQ out of Chris Eubanks Jr. and he's gonna cry like a little girl, like he did with Liam Smith.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like Chris Eubank at all, man.
Yeah.
He's not.
I don't like him.
Nobody likes
He's
him.
overrated as hell.
I
He's
agree.
overrated as hell. He's very overrated. I mean, let me tell you, this guy has fought nothing but fucking fish and chips. Fucking fish. He's fucking fish and chips and fucking cab drivings. I don't know.
I would,
Like,
I would
I
still
hope-
say this though about Eubank. I did think when he fought Saunders, Eubank won that fight because it was a really close fight.
Hold on, guys. I got to get a couple more people in. Thank you, Ken Wall, for jumping on, my brother. Go bust you some cheeks, and thanks for the great prediction.
Okay. Good luck.
Dro, what's good with you?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Who do you got? Benavidez, Andrade. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think David Benavidez is gonna get the win. I don't really see if he's. I don't know for sure if he's gonna get the stoppage, but I do think he's gonna win the fight. The only reason I say I don't think he's gonna get the stoppage is, I think once Andrade gets hit, he's probably gonna be on his bicycle a lot, and Benavidez isn't really the type of guy to cut somebody off the ring. Even against Caleb Plant, he didn't really cut the ring. It was more so Caleb Plant just got tired, as you can see in the second half of the fight how that went. So, again, I think it's just going to be more of a, once he feels Benavidez' power, he's going to be on his bicycle a lot. So that's just what I think. Now, obviously, if Andrade does the opposite, that'll be, something even that I'll be surprised that he can do, because he's been knocked down by bums before. So I just don't see how he could do anything to really, number one, not even hurt Benavidez, let alone outbox him. So
That makes sense. It's not bad. It's not bad. Do you see anything crazy happening in this fight? Anything that's like Andrade dropping Benavidez twice, or anything that you wouldn't expect? Benavidez getting, anything.
yeah, I mean, I think Benavidez getting dropped would be surprising, just because Andrade to me doesn't really have that much power. Granted, obviously Benavidez has been knocked down by a punch that I didn't think was a very hard punch, but even still, I think he's gotten better since that fight when he's gotten dropped. But if something crazy were to happen, it would be even just a decision. To me, it would be even a decision by Andrade, only because they're pushing the Canelo fight so much. They've been building it up for years now. I mean, I feel like that was part of the reason Canelo even signed with PBC for this 3-fight deal, is to build that fight up. So I just don't see it happening unless if Andrade goes out and just either completely outboxes him, all 12 rounds and gets like an 8-4 decision or something. Or he would, him knocking him out would definitely be crazy for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks for jumping on, my brother. I got another guest to jump on. I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on,
Yes,
and go
sir.
bust you some cheeks, man. All right. Oh, go. You can go in Sun, New Jersey.
My ex responded and she said, did you really have to bring up you being the, you busting my cheeks? And I said, yeah. He calls me the cheek buster.
you know, man, son, I consider you a good friend, man. And I feel like the temptation for me to say something right here is very great, and I'm trying not to.
Yeah,
IBF.
appreciate you, man.
I'm going to take the high road on this one.
Dynamic Joe, you go and get your prediction, man.
Joe, what's good with you, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you? Been watching you for a long time.
Good. What do you got winning this fight?
I think David Benavidez might by decision. Realistically, I can see a stoppage either way. I mean, when it comes to Demetrius Andre, I mean, he like you've been saying for a very long time about him that he hasn't really fought anyone legitimate. Like he moves, he tries to be slick, but only with fighters that are not well known. So it's like he's never been tested, and I don't know if how well he's gonna do with David Benavidez, and this is like his test to see if he actually belongs with the big names. But he's a decent fighter, but he did well in the Olympics, but that still isn't well enough to fight in with the real dogs in the real ring, like without using any type of gear or anything like that. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen tomorrow night. But I think David Benavidez has his number tomorrow by either decision or a late stoppage.
Okay, I see. What round do you think that's gonna happen?
It's maybe, I would say, if it's by knockout, I would say maybe 11th. If it's like the other one is just by decision, I believe. But I don't see Demetrius Andre, I don't really see him he'll try to outbox him, David Benavidez, but I don't see anything else he would have power to even hurt David Benavidez. So I mean, I just think David Benavidez is gonna beat him up pretty much. That's what I pretty much see.
Okay, I can agree with that. I mean, that's going to be very interesting to see if David Benavidez can apply the pressure, because Andrade's footwork is going to cause him fits early in the fight. So we shall see if Benavidez can cut that ring off and get this guy out of here.
Right, then I'm so sorry. And then if David Benavidez does win this fight, I mean, a lot of fans, a lot of Benavidez fanboys are going to try to pressure by Canelo, and I think Canelo's going to beat him. I mean, Canelo's going to counter him. He's going to hurt the guy if they ever fight. But Canelo doesn't need David Benavidez for his legacy. He doesn't, because Canelo has all the belts. I mean, the only thing he can do, Canelo, is, I mean, he can do what he wants because he earned that right, just like Floyd Mayweather. So I think Canelo, I mean, he can fight whoever. I mean, and to me, if he wants to retire now, he could, but or he can avenge that loss with Bivol. And then that's it, and then call it for his whole boxing career to be over, and see what happens. But I think Canelo beats David Benavidez or Demetrius Andre, whoever wins tomorrow. So let's see what happens. But I'll be
definitely.
But I'm not really much of a fan of him because he hasn't really proven much to me. And then with Caleb Plant, it's like I didn't see the entire fight because I fell asleep. Because I came from work, so I mean I only watched the highlights and I wasn't really impressed, to be honest. I mean, he people were saying, oh, he's gonna knock him out. He was talking mad shade, David Benavidez, and all this stuff, but he didn't even knock him out or hurt the guy. I mean, the guy just kept coming, and then he has a gash in his head, because of headbutts, and that's why Plant was bleeding all over his face. So I mean, and he was putting up a good fight. If it wasn't for that head clash, who knows? Maybe Caleb Plant would have won that fight. I don't know, but it's whatever. But it was a good win for David Benavidez overall. But I'm still not convinced he would take and beat Canelo, because Canelo has the experience, the counter punch, the power, and like you said, David Benavidez, he'll get dropped like he did with a journeyman early in his career. So, and Canelo never been knocked down. So, yeah,
very true, my brother. Let me get to this guy, the famous Aiken McCall. He said, hey, it was good, y'all. I came back to your live stream listening from my phone. I just heard you calling me out, IBFP. Call me stupid, but how do I get in via phone? Just click the link. Or
Just click the link.
Click. It's that simple. Click the
It's
link.
not really
That's
rocket
simple.
science
Click
on
the
how to
There is a
get
thing
in.
called link. You can just click on it.
And if or you copy it and put it in your browser, and then boom, magic happens.
Yeah.
Magic.
I'm not the
It's
smartest.
magic, man. I mean, I don't know how
I-
else to
what else?
explain this to like
You,
I don't
you
know
said
what
he's
other
been like leaving
instructions.
disrespectful comments.
just
Sure.
on every single post. It's always like IBFP, you're wrong on this. You're racially biased. You're wrong on this. Racially biased. This or that. Oh, okay. Well, and like, you know what? I'm gonna see if this guy
Oh,
got really
so-
something to say. Like, cause now you can get it. If you got something on your chest, this is the perfect time to get it off your chest. To just be like, hey, you know, I don't like you, or I don't like what you're saying, or you're biased, or this, you know, body bag me. This is your chance. I had dropped the link right after your comment, so go ahead and get that that link and let's get this done.
So
because
basically, he's another John Boxing.
I mean, I haven't seen or heard from John since that asshole.
Nobody has IBFP. Nobody.
John,
has.
salute to you, man. I haven't. I haven't seen or heard from John at all. John does not talk about me no more.
Well, but like, has that guy like, you know, been like, has he been fanboying for a fighter that he thinks that you're wrong about? Noob?
So it's mostly, I guess he's basically saying. So when I mention it's basically every one of his posts is anti Canelo.
Of course.
And so if I'm talking about, I don't know, Terrence Crawford and boots, he'll bring up a Canelo situation, which has nothing to do with it. Or if I'm talking about, I mean, even with the Jermall Charlo missing weight, I'm sure that he's going to go in there and say something about Canelo or like he's afraid or he's ducked this guy. Well, you know, just go ahead and get this out of your system. Tell me how I'm a biased fanboy, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you my respectful response to that. I would love to do it right now, but now you can't work a phone. You've been listening, but you ain't even commented. I mean, these are just coochie tactics. I mean, I've been listening from my phone. Well, if you've been listening from your phone,
So how do
He's probably watching Dante Cheese Nation channel.
I mean, the guy said, "Hey, what's good, y'all?" Not like you, my friend. Hey, what's good? Like his whole attitude is just friendly. Like, hey, what's good? You never said what's good, nothing ever on any comments. I'm a dumbass on this.
You don't want, you don't want the smoke.
man?
You don't want the smoke.
Hey,
Yo,
I've been listening
Carl,
to your live
Carl,
stream from my phone.
Get on
No
the link,
smoke.
bro. It's not that hard.
Yeah, he's like, I've been listening to you and Hit Kid in the Sun, and you know, I slapped my ass a few times. And I just wonder if I can get on, if you guys can explain how I click a link or what I do with it, and like his energy, his voice, his tone, his expressions. Like, come on, man, you this big tough guy, right? We'll go ahead and click the link, just have a conversation, because this is really what I understand.
Right.
I mean, come on, like I'm just waiting on what he's gonna say.
I mean,
Yeah,
people you
dude.
got on Fury versus Usyk.
Is that to me?
Well, we're waiting on.
Me or Hit Kid?
No, IBFP. My
Oh
bad.
god.
I will say, for me personally, I would still favor Tyson Fury. That's just me. I know I could be definitely wrong about this, but Fury's a pain in the ass. I'll put it like this, and he does things and he looks terrible in fights, but somehow this guy finds a way to win. I don't know. I see Fury with the skills. I see the fact that Fury's not going to get tired in the fight. He's going to come in better shape. I'm not going to take anything from that other fight. If he comes in like he did in the Nagano fight, he's going to get
He'll
humiliated.
get stopped.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So,
He gets
But if he comes in great shape,
I've got to go and help me dad, but I'll be RB, okay?
okay. If he comes in like that, then he's going to get stopped and humiliated. But if he comes in the right way, like in fantastic shape on his game, I think he might even stop Usyk.
I agree.
what do you think? Because Tyson Fury, has he fought any southpaws in his recent resume?
I mean, if you want to say Dillian White, then go right ahead. But
I wouldn't even count that, but
I'm not going to say Wilder because Wilder's a one-trick pony, and we already know that.
Look, I don't think it's going to matter if he's southpaw. Not personally to me. I think it's going to matter what Tyson Fury shows up to fight.
Yeah.
If Tyson Fury's 100% spot on, he could win this fight. That's my opinion.
I think he'll gas out. Fury will gas out. Usyk will outbox him. circles around him, because I got Usyk on that, on his tactics, man. He's really, I think he has one of the best jabs in the heavyweights right now. He waits till the fighters get tired, then he goes at it with the pressure. And Fury, you know how he has those thin ass legs and a big ass Despicable Me body. He won't be able to.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Oh, man.
Go at it with Usyk. You know he's gonna be scared of Usyk in the fight. He wouldn't know what to do by round 6. So I got Usyk by stoppage, like round 10 or 11. Yeah.
Carlos Rios, salute to you. He said no one from 47 to 68 can come close to Canelo. I think you know Canelo is the clear favorite over anybody between those weight classes. I think that 175 makes it difficult, and I think that's the weight class that's really going to cause him a lot of problems. But 47 and 68, I favor Canelo over anybody between those weights.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Nuke, there's actually a topic that's been on my mind that I wanted to ask you about regarding this Canelo thing of who is he going to be fighting in May. And I keep on thinking, you know, the Canelo Munguia situation, like it's a mandatory, but how could they come to terms? Because Canelo's with PBC and Munguia's with DAZN, and Munguia has a fight with John Ryder coming up. So
anything that could potentially happen would happen after the John Ryder fight. So Munguia would have to beat John Ryder, if that makes sense. And that's not even to say that Canelo has even made a decision on fighting Munguia, because they're still talking about David Benavidez right now. We don't know. What if Benavidez loses? Then he has to rematch Andrade. If he wins, and then, you know, I've seen so many times where people say Canelo wouldn't take this fight or that fight, then he ends up taking it and everybody looks crazy. It could be very likely we could be getting Canelo Benavidez next. Or maybe not. I mean, a lot of things have to happen. I think Canelo's just keeping his options open. That would be a massive fight. And also, David Benavidez doesn't even pick his own fights. It goes through Al Heyman. So he has to wait for Al Heyman to say, this is who you're fighting next. This is who you're not fighting next. Al Heyman has the final say over anybody David Benavidez gets to fight.
Gotcha. It's because it just, to me, like, the way I look at it is that I don't mind a Canelo Munguia fight next. Is just, you know, it's just for me not at the moment, because let alone, number one, I don't even know if Munguia can beat John Ryder at this point. I don't even know. That to me is a too close to call type of fight. And two, I think if Benavidez is to win tomorrow, I think Benavidez will be put ready for September of next year for Canelo. And in May, it would be Jermall Charlo, just because they got a signed contract from what I heard. And that's only if Jermall can look good against Jose Benavidez. Because if Jose Benavidez goes the full 12 or 10, whatever it is, then Jermall might as well retire if he can't knock that guy out.
Well, when you look at Canelo's position, I got a 3-fight deal with the PBC worth $100 million. I've already completed 1 fight. I need to complete 2 more fights. The PBC, from what I've been noticing, there's a high likelihood they sign with Amazon Prime next. That's what I've been hearing. So if they're with Amazon Prime next or DAZN, one of these major entities, they're going to need to be able to put on some massive fights, the next 2 fights that are just going to get people to buy and watch and see what they are. I mean, I would assume the Benavidez fight would always be the last fight of the deal for Canelo. That's just my thought. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
They don't want to sign with DAZN, obviously, because Al Heyman's ego will be crushed. Let's just say that bluntly. That's been the truth behind that.
I got.
I'm not putting my camera on because I'm having a bit of Taco Bell. I'm just fully going to admit it. But I think Canelo fights the winner of this fight next.
Hopefully.
I'm sorry, Canelo doesn't owe Jermall Charlo anything, and he hasn't earned that shit as far as I'm concerned. Someone else can go.
Any fight can. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Any fight Canelo will take, it will sell, man. Literally, it will sell. Any fight.
It's a cash cow.
Cash cow, and it will be either. It wouldn't matter if it's Munguia, Benavidez, Andrade, any of those guys. It's just gonna sell, and whatever Canelo will take, he's gonna take it. He's not scared of nobody. So, yeah.
He showed it before, and then I think after he leaves PBC, I think he's going to go try to get that Bivol rematch again if Bivol is still champion. And then who knows, maybe go undisputed at 175 as well.
Literally, I want to see that fight.
And hopefully by that time, Beterbiev and Bivol have already fought, unified the division, and now Canelo can see if he can get it. And if they haven't still, then he can creep in and try to get that rematch or fight Beterbiev to lure Bivol. I mean, you don't know. However, it could work out. Ruger Nick says, IBFP, what fight you think is right for Canelo next? I don't know, man. I would like, if it was me in a perfect world that I could see, the winner of this fight would be my choice next. For me, just as a fan, to see the winner of this fight next. That's me. That's what I would like. But if Canelo says, I'm going to fight Munguia next and then Benavidez in September, I have no problem with that. I think he's earned that right because Benavidez he's not a boss. He don't get to pick when he fights. Al Heyman does. Canelo Alvarez don't have nothing to prove. If Benavidez wanted the Canelo fight a long time ago, or even Andrade, they could have made that fight happen.
Literally, yep.
But so to me, I would pick the winner of this fight next. But I don't think any of that's a duck. If he fights Edgar Berlanga next, a guy who literally has nothing to do with anything, I think that's a problem. If he fights somebody along those lines that has nothing to do with anything, then what's happening here?
Yeah, and you already called it out.
I've heard rumors Munguia's fighting Ryder in January.
That's what I'm saying.
I've heard. Munguia's fighting John Ryder.
Yeah, there's talk of Munguia fighting John Ryder at the beginning of the year. Once he gets past that, he's going to be considered for a Canelo fight. I don't know.
He's not getting past Ryder.
I'm just going to tell you this right now, Nuke.
I'll be blunt. Ryder's beating Munguia.
I will tell you this right now, Nuke. I really hope John Ryder pops Munguia's cherry. I really hope, man.
I'm not going to lie to you, son. I would like to actually see that.
John Ryder needs to redeem himself, so why not redeem himself?
Ryder stops Munguia. Ryder stops Munguia. I'm calling it here first.
And I don't want to see the Berlanga. I don't want to see the Munguia. I think those guys should have fought, personally.
That's true.
And what's sad about it is that that's actually a fight that I think Munguia probably could have won, and yet Munguia was still hesitant not to take that fight.
And now he would be the clear favorite in that fight, and I don't know why he wouldn't take that. I really don't get it.
Yeah, and the reason why I think John Ryder probably could win right now is because look at Munguia's last fight. Didn't he struggle with Sergey Devryanchenko, who's washed at this point?
Yeah. Went life and death with him.
And he went he was getting hit all in his face flush, but you telling me John Ryder cannot do that? You telling me John Ryder cannot put up a better fight than a washed Sergey Devryanchenko?
Oh,
a guy who's lost to Triple G. He only got famous for getting his ass kicked by Triple G, Jacobs, and Jermall Charlo, even Carlos Adames.
I'm going to tell you this. I think depending on how Jermall Charlo looks in this fight, and depending on how Demetrius Andrade looks in this fight, I think that's going to determine a lot on who gets what fights next. If let's say Andrade gets blown out of the water, I could see Jermall Charlo saying, "I want Andrade next." I could see something like that. If Andrade looks great, and he might say, "Let me get somebody else I think I can beat, maybe Caleb Plant." Because me personally, I don't understand why you didn't fight Caleb Plant next.
That's what I'm saying.
He should be fighting Caleb Plant.
No,
Plant slapped the black out of him, if we like to say it. That's what the Jedi's were.
Dog shit.
More like he slapped the Sonic. More like he slapped the Sonic rings out of him. And I still think Caleb Plant at this moment will box circles around Jermall Charlo. The styles is just.
I agree.
It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty for Jermall. He'll get outpointed.
Absolutely. Caller, you're on with the landlord. What's good?
What's good? I'm from Mexico. I'm in here in Mexicali. I want to say three things. I got Benavidez for TKO, but if he goes by decision, it's gonna look very bad for Benavidez if he goes for decision. I don't care how the decision goes, but it's gonna look really bad on Benavidez. And on this fight, there's a fight between Victor Conte and Memo Heredia too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, on the undercard.
On Benavidez, you know, Victor Conte has Andrade and Memo Heredia is training well. not training, but he's under Benavidez team too. So they don't like each other. So Victor Conte and
All the
Memo-
coaches don't like each other.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's another fight, but not in the ring, but you know, that's a real fight. And I got Big Charlo by decision. Because for me, Jose Benavidez, he was the best prospect couple of years ago, like I don't know, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, but he was not a serious boxer, so he was not dedicated. But for me, he was the top. I think he was one of the best, but he disappointed me. And Munguia and John Ryder, I really respect a boxer, any boxer with a great resume. I'm talking about Joe Ryder. So right there, I don't have a for me, it's a 50-50 fight because I really respect John Ryder's resume, or any boxer that has a great resume. I respect it. So that's all I want to say. But for me, that's a really gamble fight between Munguia and Joe Ryder. But I think Munguia has probably a little bit edge, but I won't put money on it. But that's what I think about those 3 fights.
On Jose Benavidez Jr., he
Yeah.
got the metal rods in his leg, and
Yes.
and I think that's really hurt his career. I mean, I think that he could have been much better at welterweight and everything. He fought Terrence Crawford, I think they said 8 months after he got those rods in his leg, and he went almost a full 12 rounds. That was kind of
Yes.
impressive that he was able to last that long with metal rods in his
Exactly,
legs
yes.
and not being all that. So, and they said he would never walk again. So, I'm not hard on the guy. I just know that those rods kind of really messed up his career. Benavidez, do you think he has to get a knockout to win, or do you think
TKO? I don't think he will get a KO, TKO, because he's not a one punch boxer. But I think if he wants to make an impression, he needs a TKO, because if he goes by decision, for me, it'd probably be another PBC high job. Probably. I don't think Benavidez is a high job, but it's gonna look like, because PBC is losing their fighters. Let's see. Inoue beat what's his name?
Bolton?
Bolton.
Yeah. Canelo
Foxy
beat
Jasa.
2 of them. Canelo already beat 2 of them, and Crawford beat the shit of Spence.
Yeah.
It's looking really bad for PBC, but those are facts, like you say. And I watch your program, and thank you for having me here. So they call me Atomic Boxing. That's my name in YouTube. So
okay,
that's
Atomic. Let me ask you one more question, because this is just something that's been on my mind. What do you think happens if Virgil Ortiz is at 154? He wins this comeback fight. He looks great. How do you see a Virgil Ortiz Terrence Crawford at 154 going if Virgil is healthy and everything is good? How do you see that fight happen?
I see it really, really like this is that will be a fight. First, Virgil Ortiz has to look good on
he does
point before I could talk about Crawford. But let's say he looks really good. Yeah. It's gonna be like a temper fight, like who has the more stamina or the more will of winning and staying there, because I would see this fight like one going down and the other getting up, and you getting up, and whoever has the will, I think that's gonna be like a will fight, like something you have in your back that you really want to go. It doesn't matter what's in front of you. You're just gonna go accept everything. I don't know how to explain it in English, only in Spanish, but I don't know if you. But it's gonna be like a fight that who has the more will and the more determination. Let's say determination, and that's gonna be the winner. But if I have to say a name right now, I would say Crawford. But that's the fact for me.
I'll tell you this. I guess for me, I think Virgil Ortiz is probably the one guy that I feel like has a chance against Crawford at 54.
Yes.
That's just me. If he's healthy, if he looks like the same Virgil Ortiz, because I think Crawford, I would favor him to beat Charlo. I would favor him to beat all these other guys. I think Virgil Ortiz, I know this might not be everybody's thought process. I think Virgil Ortiz is massively underrated. His jab, his power, all that. If he's back to himself, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I think that'd be great.
The fight I would like to see at 154 would be Virgil Tim Tszyu.
Oh, that'd be an excellent fight.
Yeah, excellent. And Tim Tszyu for me, I've been saying that for a couple of years, like 2-3 years, that Tim Tszyu it was gonna be a really prospect. Like, and he is already. He's not a prospect anymore. He's there right now. So, but the only doubt that I have is, that 3 times it was suspended by. Well, the fight was suspended because of something in the blood of Virgil Ortiz. That's my only doubts on Virgil Ortiz. I hope he's 100% or 110%, but I'm not a doctor. But when the fight was suspended 3 times, I think the promoter has a lot to blame on that there, because I don't know, 3 times for the same thing. Something serious is going on.
Yeah, Robert Garcia said that his body had never been the same after he got COVID. So after Virgil got COVID, Robert Garcia said Virgil Ortiz's body had never been the same. He needed to move up in weight to feel healthy and strong. And that's just a side effect from him getting COVID, likely. So now that if he can bounce back and he's good and he's healthy and he's good at 154, right? His next fight, he's going to fight between 154 and 160 to see which weight class makes more sense. They're going to hopefully go with 154. That's where the bigger fights are to be made. So hopefully that'll be the way. I think if Virgil can fight a guy like Tim Tszyu, win a belt, that'll be great. And that would make a Terrence Crawford, in my opinion. That would make that perfect. Sager 12 says Jermall versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Jose wins. He believes Jose wins, likely because Jermall is struggling with weight and depression and all this other stuff.
If Jose wins, let me be clear. Let's just be brutally honest here. Even though we're cloning, the loser of Andrade Benavidez' fan base, if Jose Benavidez wins that co-main event, all of us need to roast the shit out of Jermall Charlo.
Jermall to me would be washed if he loses to Jose.
I don't think he's going to lose, but if he did lose, he's done. He's done.
He's retired.
He's no longer a top guy.
You lose to a guy from welterweight that Terrence Crawford knocked out and a guy that Danny Garcia decision. And if you can't knock him out quicker than Crawford or beat him easily like Danny Garcia did, you're done. You're washed.
Hang up the gloves. Hang up the gloves.
That's it.
And actually, I got an interview that Bernard Hopkins actually said something.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for jumping on, my brother. Salute.
Have a good evening.
Right. Let me get the next one on. Salute, my brother. What's good?
What's up, yo? Hey, man. I'm just trying to say, why are you guys meat riding the hell out of?
This is some kind of troll. We're not gonna do this one.
It sounds like a crackhead. He's like, "Why are y'all trying to murder?"
Oh my god! I hear this guy. He was like,
sounds like one of Southpaw's redneck cousins.
He's trying to hide himself from the chat and trying to look. He got on the whole costume and everything. He don't want to show us who he is.
Southpaw in disguise.
I was like, I was saying, like Bernard Hopkins actually says something interesting, of who he thinks who is Canelo's threat. And I played like a little bit of the audio if you guys could hear it a little bit.
Jermall Charlo will be, to me, Canelo's biggest threat.
Jermall Charlo.
And this is what he said about Benavidez, because they asked him, about who would he think if Benavidez is a third or not, and he said this.
Canelo would smash Benavidez. He'd smash him. Really? Smash him. Why?
What do you see there? Because a lot of people, you look at me confused. I'm looking the same way. A lot of people think David's bigger. He throws more. He'll pressure. Canelo doesn't do well when you pressure him.
Throws more at Canelo. Gives Canelo an opportunity for you not to throw more. Let me say it again in case I missed it at home. Anything that he throws at Canelo, you know what Canelo gonna do? All day. Will make him not throw anymore the way he was throwing around two before then.
But he goes for Jermall though to be Canelo's biggest threat. I don't get that.
Jermall, no. What do you got to say about that, Duke?
I just disagree completely. I don't see how that makes any sense. I mean, look, maybe Jermall is a much better fighter than I've ever imagined. That's all I'm saying. We have Aiken McCall has located his nuts, joined on with the landlord. Aiken. Now I see. No, hold on, Aiken. I'm gonna be respectful. Hold on. Turn your phone. We got an echo somewhere.
Let me get somewhere quiet. Let me get somewhere quiet.
Okay.
You said echo, so.
Oh no, you sounded good now. Perfect.
Is that better?
Oh, that's great. Oh, great. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I could go first. First and foremost, thank you for letting me in. Now, you said that when I listened to you, you said that I called you racially biased. Never said that, dog. I said you're biased, and I even made the explanation on our last little comment exchange. If you read it, I even gave you a compliment for getting on Jaime Munguia. So I never said that you was racially biased. So that's false information. That's misleading. Okay. And I even called you out that you take that even in your show and your channel, you take little information, but you don't put the whole story in. You just take one little bit and then you explode it and then try to create a narrative. Bomac never said I'm picking Andrade because he's black. He even said that he'd known Andrade for years and even mentioned his skill. He never said because he's black or I have to go with my black guy. It never went racial. Okay. That's why I even went back to that.
Hold on 1 second. Before we get ahead, I just want to respond to that directly. Okay. So in the video, did I say that Bomac said directly he's picking him specifically because he's black? Did I quote him saying that exactly?
Said it was a race pick.
No, that was my opinion. So you have to understand. That's my opinion. Hold on. That's my opinion of what I believe he's saying.
That's my mistake.
So I didn't misquote him or mislabel him. I put up the whole article, everything, every video where you can go find the information for yourself. I don't hide any information. Just to be clear.
Okay.
All right, you keep going.
Okay, that's my mistake. But still, even with that, it can create something. Oh, this is a race pick. He said what he said. That doesn't make it a race pick. But okay. All right. Now, other things that when it comes to Canelo, I even praised Canelo. I even said good compliments about Canelo. But there's times where he is clearly overhyped. Like I remember one of the videos, example, when he fought Bivol, you was like, "Oh, Bivol's a killer. Bivol's a killer." I'm like, "Bivol's a killer? Killer? All right, 10 knockouts in 20 fights. I wouldn't say all that." And then you say David Benavidez is not a monster who has 23 knockouts in 27 fights.
So let me ask you a question. Hold on. So let me ask you a question. Is David Benavidez a monster?
I consider him a monster. He earned a name.
What do you consider Bivol? He's not a killer.
I wouldn't say he's a killer. I say he's a great boxer.
Okay. So when you call somebody a killer,
I'm going to compare him because I'm going to compare that to Andrade. I would not say Andrade's a killer, but he has a better knockout ratio than Bivol.
Okay, so let's go to David Benavidez.
He knocks out every. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go to David Benavidez first. So what knockout win did he have that make him a monster?
Anthony Durrell. That's when he really caught my attention. That blood, yeah. And plus the knockout, and plus this knockout ratio.
So that's if Durrell made him a monster, did that make Caleb Plant a monster too? Because didn't he stop him too?
That made him. That was a great stop. That was a great stop. Yeah, it was an amazing stop. Yeah,
but
I wouldn't say he's a monster. Nah, because of the ratio. That's what I'm saying. There's other factors into it. Like a person can get a knockout. Like an example. Let me use another example. Like let's just say Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, but you wouldn't say Buster Douglas is a monster. It was a great win. There's consistency with this. That's
And
what
so
I'm saying.
who else has he
There's
knocked
more.
out to show that he's consistently knocking out the best?
Well, David Lemieux was a champion. He
Lemieux's a
knocked
blown-up
out,
160 fighter.
and who came off of
Lemieux
5
was
straight
what?
victories.
So you're
Who
overhyping
came off of 5 straight
wins.
victories.
Hold on. You're overhyping
Okay.
wins that don't matter. So a blown-up 160 fighter makes you a killer and a monster and a beast. And then you look at a guy like Bivol, who's straight down. The reason why I called him a killer is because he has the ability to dominate almost anyone. Did you know that he statistically has the best defense in boxing and has the strongest jab in boxing? But I guess a lot of people don't know those things because they don't follow as closely as I do. So when I call this man a killer, he's a killer because he can pick you apart. He can find a way to win no matter what situation because he has a skill set to do so. Benavidez stopping a blown-up Lemieux does not make him a monster. Benavidez not being able to stop Caleb Plant does not make him a monster. Benavidez, you got to understand, when you talk about a guy being a monster, it's a guy that's on a run ripping everybody a new asshole. He's not doing that. Bivol, this guy's coming in. He's never been dropped by a journeyman. Bivol is winning there and schooled guys at the highest level. I've never seen that from Benavidez, is what I'm saying. So your definition of a monster and my definition of a killer are completely different.
Right. But that's why we give opinions. That's why we give opinions, though. That's why we give opinions. And when I say, go ahead.
Hold on one second. Hick got a question for you.
I want to interrupt with a question. All right. By the way, this is the same Bivol who schooled Suardo Ramirez. We should mention that. Completely schooled him.
Yes.
But this is just my question because you say Bivol isn't a killer and Benavidez is a monster.
Okay.
If Benavidez moved up to Bivol's weight, would you pick Benavidez to beat Bivol?
No, because it's a technician. My wording is different. When you kill somebody, you're stopped. When you kill somebody, you're stopped. Go ahead.
Wouldn't that make the point though that you're trying to bring up? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you here, Rich. But wouldn't that make your point?
Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing disrespectful. Nobody said nothing disrespectful. Go ahead.
No, it's all respect.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Would that make your point being completely like, you know, on the overhyping Canelo? Because doesn't that overhype Benavidez then, in a sense, on your end? Because you wouldn't pick him to beat Bivol, if I'm like to say it.
That's a body bag.
You'd have Bivol beat Benavidez.
No, I wouldn't pick him because he's a technician. But he has but he's knocking guys out. There's different definitions here. See, you're saying killer because of his skill. That doesn't make him a killer. Killer is when you stop people. Killer is when you're making things bloody. Killer is when you really brutalizing motherfuckers. Excuse my French, I apologize. That's why I called Anthony Durrell. I was like, damn, Anthony Durrell? Dang, I did pick Demetrius to win, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Now that's why I was just like, okay, this dude's for real. He caught my attention. This guy's a killer. So then that's and then, again, that knockout ratio. You know what I'm saying? And another example would be for me, Deontay Wilder, knocking guys out. But then when he fight Tyson Fury, I was like, he's gonna lose to Tyson Fury because of the skill. But that still makes him like a bronze bomber. That still makes him a killer in ways. But you're facing against another competition. But if
hold on. I got an interesting question. Is Canelo a killer?
Go ahead.
Is Canelo a killer?
Fuck yeah.
So how's he overhyped?
No. How is he overhyped is when you talk about the whole resume. What makes him overhyped? What makes him overhyped is when things are really starting to blow up. Like, oh, he's beating everybody, he's fighting everybody, but then things change when it comes to when we asked about Benavidez, when we asked about Demetrius Andrade, when we
I don't get it. I'm lost.
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, no, hold on.
That's wrong. Okay, that's wrong.
No,
That's wrong.
I just want to respond to this because this is hilarious to me.
Go ahead.
So I'm hyping up Canelo, saying, and because I'm saying that, you know, he's out there fighting everybody, but everything changes when we mention Benavidez and Andre.
Because I don't think he's fought. I believe that they're the best. That's my personal opinion. Okay, and he did not fight him. And there's and also, sorry, but also it's been years with Andre in particular.
Okay.
It's been years. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why aren't you fighting this particular guy, the undefeated guy? Not just because he's undefeated, but what's the problem with this particular guy? Okay. And you can still be a killer, but I don't think. But my opinion is, I don't think he's as hyped up as much. And also, in my opinion, there's also questionable decisions. My opinion, I don't think he beat Lara. My opinion, I don't think he beat Triple G the first fight. But again, that's my opinion. That's why I'm like, this is overhyping a little bit. I'm like, he's straight. I say he's straight. But
okay, hold on.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, you good. I just want to stick to the topic here because I need to unzip this body bag real quick. So, hold on, it's okay. I'm unzipping for you. You can jump.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. So Canelo's overhyped. His energy's not the same towards Benavidez, who you said was a killer. But out of Benavidez and Bivol, who did you favor to win?
I favor Bivol.
And Canelo fought Bivol.
Right, and he got dominated by Bivol.
Hold on. At 175, at Bivol's best weight.
Okay, correct.
So if Canelo's not afraid to fight a guy like Bivol at his best weight, giving up all the advantages, height, reach, weight, but he's afraid of David Benavidez or Demetrius Andre at his best weight, because 168 is Canelo's best weight. There's not a fight that Canelo has not dominated at 168, no matter what your opinion is.
Okay,
he's dominated every fight at 168.
Okay, all right. This is my response to that. Because when he was at 160 and 168, it was at the time it was Charlo, the bigger Charlo.
We're talking about right now.
No, listen, just listen. Hear me out. Listen.
Okay.
Because I'm going to talk about why he ended up picking Bivol. All right. So it was Charlo, Andre, and Benavidez is what many people were looking at. Before he fought Bivol, he went to try to fight Makabu, who was the weakest cruiserweight of the cruiserweights. Then he had to pick a fighter. So other people, now I'm not saying this. People believe this part of that, he fought another European fighter. He's used to that. I'm not using that narrative, but I am going to use, he picked a guy that he was not in the radar, who he thought he can beat. That's what I believe, not the European crap. I don't go to that level. But because we were asking about the three fighters previously, but then he first goes to try to fight Makabu, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you try to fight Makabu? And mind you, he didn't try to do a catch weight compared to what he did to Badu Jack. So he's doing things where, in my opinion, based on his actions and some of the things that he says, I'm like, hold up, come on, man, come on, Canelo. Nah. He must not be that good. If you want to compare him with the greats, what makes him great is when you don't fear. When it came to Boo Boo Andre at 160, Boo Boo Andre was the last piece. And in that press conference, in the press conference after the Danny Jacobs fight, they asked him about fighting Boo Boo Andre. He immediately was like, I don't think Boo Boo's going to be ready for September. Boo Boo dominates over Selecki and calls out both Alvarez and Triple G, and nothing happens. Now everybody has their reasons, but then he was offered more money to fight Andrade as opposed to Kovalev. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why aren't you fighting this particular guy? What's the problem? You had no problem trying to chase after Billy Joe Saunders. It's this whole timeline. That's why. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Are you a new subscriber here to the IBFP? Like, how long have you been subscribed to this channel?
I've been subscribed to this channel for the past 3 months. I subscribe to you I need to say this. I subscribe to you because I actually like your channel and I like opposing opinions.
Thank you.
And when and I like opposing opinions because boxing is about angles. There's different angles where I'm like, hold up, because you taught me something about Gervonta Tank Davis. Did you look at my response when you did the video on him? I was agreeing with you.
I don't recall.
Okay, you don't recall, but I was agreeing with you. I was like, oh, I didn't look at it from this angle. Let me shut up. I like to hear other people's opinions, and there are times where I was just like, yo, dog, you're better than this. You're better than this. Don't put the whole story out there. Put the whole story out there. Don't just put a piece of it. Put the whole story out there for us to know. Especially like with the Jermall Charlo situation.
Hold on. And then, because you said a lot, I really want to kind of just comment on it. Then we can continue. What channel do you follow mostly? Like when you go get boxing content, is there a channel that you follow most of the time?
Actually, I like to follow the smaller channels because I think they're more real. But the two top channels that I do like to follow most are Showbiz and Punch Drunk.
Okay. And so now it all
as far as the bigger channels, those two I follow.
So
and they're not they're unbiased. They're unbiased because I get on
and look, you can have that opinion. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Body bag.
All right. So
go ahead, body bag me. Go ahead. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's see it. All right. So the only thing I'm going to say is it all makes sense. Because had you been subscribed to the IBFP maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you would have had answers to all these questions, like all these things that you're confused on. Because what's happening is you're going out getting information from these other channels, and you're saying, well, timelines don't add up, things don't make sense. I'm not understanding why all these things don't make sense. It's because you've been listening to them, and when you come over here and get the truth, it sounds unfamiliar to you. Hold on, let me finish. I let you talk.
I apologize. I
appreciate it. So so I've allowed. I educate over here. I give the facts. I let you come to your own conclusion, but I'm gonna also tell you what I think about a situation. So when you were talking about Canelo potentially fighting Makabu or Badu Jack, and you don't like that, but my thing is, did those fights ever happen? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so those fights never happened. We don't need to talk about fights that never happened because they're pointless. I could talk about, Canelo potentially fighting whoever the hell, Usyk, because that was a fight that he mentioned one time. The fight never happened. What are we talking about? It's not a part of his resume. And so let's just be honest about it. As far as Canelo and Demetrius Andre, why that fight never happened was because Canelo Alvarez got stripped by the IBF because Sergey Deveryachenko priced himself out. A lot of people are unaware of that. Not only on top of that, hold on, Canelo petitioned the IBF to fight Demetrius Andre. Even after that petition failed and they rejected and they stripped Canelo, Canelo still entered negotiations with Demetrius Andre for a potential fight. A lot of people don't know that. So when yes, Eddie Hearn confirmed this as well. So I think a lot of people are just ignorant to these facts. So that's when I come over here, I educate. I don't just say, oh, Andrade's the boogeyman. Andrade's the boogeyman. Let me swing from his neck. That's not this channel. That's not what I do. I give you everything. So what I'm telling you is the reason why that fight didn't happen was because it was pointless at that point. If you've already stripped Canelo and he's petitioning to make the fight, and then the only available fights are fight Demetrius Andre for one belt that it's not going to be a legacy fight, or move up in weight, fight a bigger, stronger man to become one of the few Mexican 4-weight world champions in history. Which one would you rather do? Make history or fight a guy with no resume and one belt after you've already been stripped of history? I think I'm going to go make history, and that's exactly what he did. So if I'm Canelo, I would have went for the history-making fight. These facts don't lie. Okay. And Deveryachenko asking for $7 or $8 million, pricing himself out, those facts don't lie either. When you listen to these channels, you can't go with them because that's their favorite. Some channels like Demetrius Andre because they get interviews. That's all I'm saying. Other channels are meat writers. So I give you this. So I'm going to give you something about Showbiz the Adult. Showbiz the Adult said Canelo's ducking David Benavidez one day. A week later, he said, oh, he's not ducking Benavidez no more. He signed with the PBC. His narratives constantly change. Oh, Canelo's not the face of boxing. Oh, now he's back to being the face of boxing. this is a guy that's trying to please everybody. This is a guy that's trying to put on clown makeup to say, everybody, look at me. Be consistent with what you say, because you're just talking out of it. Anybody telling you everything is telling you nothing. You understand that? And when you talk about Makabu and Bivol and Canelo's being inconsistent, why would Canelo pick a harder fight in Bivol and duck David Benavidez? That don't make no damn sense, does it? Does that make any sense to you? Does it make sense to pick a harder fight and duck Benavidez and duck Andrade? By your logic, does that make any sense to pick a harder fight?
Let me respond. By my logic, at that particular time period, I would have picked. I would said the Benavidez was harder.
What time period?
The time period before he fought Bivol.
Okay,
before he fought Bivol. My time changed. I was like, yo, Bivol is, huh?
Who should Canelo have fought in that time period instead of Bivol? Who should he have fought?
In that time period, I've always been like, you got to fight Andrade. That was me, because he was in line the longest. He was.
So here's the body bag. I gotta stop you. Get ready for the jump in the body bag. Canelo Alvarez had just went undisputed at 168 before he fought Demetrius Bivol. Demetrius Andrade was still at 160 pounds. Why would you fight a guy that's not even in your weight class instead of moving up to make history? Make that make sense.
No.
Body bag.
It's called calling back, just like what he did with Jermall Charlo.
So why did he fight Jermall Charlo?
But also he didn't fight. Okay, but also you gotta let me respond.
No, because you're trying to say you trying to say that he fought Jermall Charlo because of what? Why did he fight?
Because he's two weight classes under. He's two weight classes under.
I'm asking you, why did he fight him?
Because he picked him.
Okay, so the reason why he fought Jermall, the reason why he fought Jermall Charlo is because Jermall Charlo pulled out. They already had a deal, and Jermall stepped in at the last minute and got the fight.
And where was Jermall?
Jermall pulled out.
Jermall was at 160. No, Jermall was at 160. You ain't.
Hold on.
Who did I say that? Who did I say? I said Andrade. I said Andrade.
Hold on. And Andrade.
That's why I was like, why don't you? I'm like, go call Andrade up. Call Andrade up, especially after the fact that he had a conversation with David Benavidez about going up. This is a fact.
Hold on. Your timelines are all wrong. Your timelines are all wrong.
Ahead.
We were talking about the Bivol fight and why that happened, and Andrade being at 160. So it made sense for Canelo to fight Bivol there and go for history than fighting a guy that's not in the division.
No. It's not the timeline. I'm showing the inconsistency. I'm showing the inconsistency in what he's doing. It's the maneuvering.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let me make my point. I'll let you say everything wrong you want to say. I'll let you repeat all those lies. I just want to clear this up one time. The reason why Canelo fought Bivol instead of Andrade is not only were they not in the same weight classes, there was no history to be made with Canelo fighting Demetrius Andrade. Canelo had a chance at history by winning a title against an elite fighter at 175 pounds. And he could have been on the path to undisputed with Archie Beterbiev at another weight class. That's why he took that fight. Canelo said, I want to be undisputed at 175 as well. He lost, but that don't mean the fact that he didn't try to go undisputed. Now, when you talk about Canelo fighting Jermall Charlo and Jermall Charlo or whatever, the whole reason why he was entertaining the Jermall Charlo fight was because that's all people talked about and asked him to do for years. And this was his second, this was his second offer to Jermall Charlo. His first one was in 2019, if you were unaware. This is his second one. Jermall Charlo rejected the first one, and this one, he pulled out at the last minute because he couldn't make weight, and his brother stepped in, and that's why Canelo took the fight. Your timelines are messed up. Your information,
and also the IBF. Let's go back to the IBF.
But I'm not going to lie about it.
Let's go back to.
Hold on. What you need to be concerned about is why did Demetrius Andrade not fight Janibek?
Why would he?
Why would he?
No. Because listen. Because who was his mandatory before Janibek?
So
it was Munguia.
Hold on. So Munguia should have fought Andrade, right?
Yes.
Okay, I agree.
He should have fought Andrade. So at this point in his career,
and I called Munguia a duck for not taking that fight.
And I compliment you on that.
Okay. And I'm calling Andrade. And I'm calling Andrade a duck for not taking a Janibek fight.
No.
Why is that
not a duck?
Why is that not a duck? Tell me why that's not a duck.
How's that not a duck?
How was that? How was that a duck when he was the second? He was the second mandatory. He was the second mandatory. So he's gonna say, "Hold up, what the heck?" No,
why didn't you fight him?
No, because he wasn't. He want more money. He wants a bigger fight. That's why he called out Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank was a bigger fight. Was a bigger name.
And so
what are you talking about, man? What do you? And I ask people all the time, what do you know about Jenabek? You talk about Jenabek. Nobody talks about Jenabek. Nobody brought it up until when it came.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
And also going back, I gotta mention this. But I gotta mention this. Okay.
So Demetrius Andre wanted a bigger fight than Janabek. He was being offered $1 million for the Janabek fight. He wanted a bigger fight. Then he signs a fight to fight Zach Parker. Is that a bigger fight than Janabek?
Yeah, which was $1.4 million. It was originally $1.2 million. He had a shoulder injury, and then he had to pull out that fight. Then he tried to refight Zach Parker for $183K. So that's why he pulled out that fight.
So
the money wasn't right.
Because he threw away his belt in the trash so he could run away.
No, because he was doing because he went up, and then he went up. But what did he do? But what did he do? But what did he do? He went up and got $500K.
Did he forget? Did you forget that he offered to fight Chris Eubank for $1 million?
Right, and a bigger name.
That was going to do nothing for his career.
And a bigger name. And a bigger name.
And what clout does Eubank have? Who is Chris Eubank beat that makes him a big name?
James Segal was a champion.
Oh, come
James
on.
Segal was a champion. A lot of people like to talk about.
I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt you, Rich.
You're going to laugh at that? He beat a champion? You're going to laugh at that?
No, DeGale was washed. DeGale was washed. He was washed. He was finished. Eubank beat a washed James DeGale. And by the way, this is what is. I'm sorry. This is where you body bag yourself.
No, I didn't.
Andrade, as we know, you mentioned about the pay and all that, and you say it's all about money. If Andrade would have took that fight with Zach Parker, a fight I think Andrade wins, by the way, and I'm making this very clear. I think Andrade wins that fight. Then who is he mandatory for, and who at 168? Who is he mandatory for? Please answer.
No, he would no. He would have been mandatory to Alvarez, but. No, he would have been quote unquote and mandatory for Alvarez. But why did But if that was really the case, how come none of the top promoters went to bid in for the Zach Parker fight? That doesn't make any sense.
Because
nobody wants to bid in for the Zach. But let me finish this. But also, even after when Zach Parker did not fight Andrade, he actually got double the amount, $400K, to fight John Ryder. John Ryder got paid $400K, which was more than double than what Andrade was getting. After that fight, John Ryder got $2 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. We got to think business here, man.
Okay,
that's what we're talking about. Why none of the promoters went to bid for that fight? So why would I take the Zach Parker? Why would I take the Zach Parker fight?
One second. So you want to talk about it like being a businessman now? So is Andrade a massive pay-per-view star?
No.
Is he a huge name in the sport of boxing?
No.
So who has more worldwide recognition, Sergey Kovalev or Demetrius Andre at the point in time when Canelo fought Sergey Kovalev?
It was Boo Boo. That's why we're going to disagree.
No, that's
because of undisputed. Because of undisputed. No, nobody said to go up. Nobody said go up to Kovalev. It was for undisputed. It was for undisputed.
Now you didn't.
And Canelo Alvarez said he wanted undisputed.
Hold on, 1 second. If Canelo has a chance for legacy and fighting a bigger name, if you want to be a big businessman, right? Obviously, Kovalev.
He was offered more money. He was offered more money. What are you talking about?
Hold on. Canelo can't get offered money. Canelo's the A side.
He was offered 400.
Andre hasn't made 10. Hold on. There's not been name one fight. Demetrius Andre made $10 million.
None.
He was
offered 40 million.
Hold on, let me finish.
He was offered $40 million.
Hold on. He's never been on pay-per-view. He's never made $10 million. Canelo's going to make legacy-defining money no matter whatever fight he fights. And Canelo's said 1 million times, I don't fight only about money. I fight about what? Legacy. Which one was the legacy fight? Kovalev or Andrade at that point?
Andrade because of Undisputed.
He
wanted to be
stripped.
undisputed.
He was
Legacy
already
is being
stripped.
undisputed is a legacy fight. What are you talking about?
Are you not aware that he was already stripped by the IBF? He was stripped.
Okay, let me respond to that. Okay, you haven't let me respond to that part. You haven't let me respond to that part, because according to Gene Salazar, who is a representative of the IBF, actually gave Canelo to say, hey, this is your Lomachenko is your mandatory, but I'm going to let you. They're going to let him get a pass if it's a unification, which was Andrade. That's a fact.
Has Andrade ever
that
fought
is
a world champion?
That's not a fact.
No, don't go back to that. That's a fact.
Hold on. The fact is, hold on. The fact is, hold on. Let me respond to that. Did the IBF reject Canelo's request to fight Demetrius Andrade? To unify with Andrade?
I just told you.
They did. You can find the articles everywhere. They're all over ESPN. They reject.
And I found an article.
ESPN's lying. ESPN's making up shit.
And so Gene Salazar's lying. The representative of IBF.
Documentation to prove it? Because ESPN, they show
yes,
it.
I could pull out the documentation.
And so why did they reject it as an official sanctioning body? If he said it, then why did the sanctioning body deny it?
Hold up. Who said what? What? Go back.
So if Salazar is saying that they allowed it, then why did the IBF itself, come out on ESPN and state that they denied that motion for unification?
No, they did not. No, Salazar. I actually put
inconsistency.
No. You said consistency. You said if I'm wrong. No, if I'm wrong.
One comment from one random guy talking about they were going to
comment. It's not a 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 comment. I even looked this up myself. I was like, hold on. What's going on? No, that's not a comment. I didn't go off no damn comment. I actually had to research that myself. But also, if you're saying that, also you're getting paid more money.
Hold on, Canelo don't fight for money. He fights for legacy.
That was a legacy fight.
Andrade fights for money. That's why he decided to walk away from the top fights that everybody wanted to see him fight Janabek. He walked away from that fight. Hold on. I'm gonna let my brother hold on. I'm gonna let my brother's son in New Jersey. Hold on. One more thing. Did Andrade duck Jermall Charlo?
No. At the end, no. The WBO even announced that Andrade went forward with the fight. It was Jermall who pulled out completely. So then they started to talk about Laura. The WBO, that's even the WBO archives. I had to look that up. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one. No, listen. I'm gonna be honest on that one.
This is the most ridiculous thing. We all hold on. Demetrius Andrade out of his own mouth said he didn't go through with the fight because he wasn't happy with the compensation. He said out of his own mouth.
That was the first part. That was the first part. That was the first part.
The fight was done when he pulled out.
That was the first part. But then he signed to fight him.
It was done. He signed a fight and then said, "Oh, I don't want to do it. I pull out. I don't want that guy."
So then why would the WBO say that Jermall pulled out then? When Andre wanted to move forward?
Look, you're making
the WBO announced this. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Now, how? Now,
I'm gonna let the son ask you the question. Son, what's your question?
Going back to this, and all of that, and when you go back to the Kovalev Andrade situation, let me ask you this: who has a better resume? As you compare
Kovalev. Okay, no question. He had a better resume.
No, compare the opponents, because he's got John Pascal, he's got Andre Ward, Eliter Alvarez, Canelo. And who's Andrade's resume? Willie Nelson? Who?
He hasn't fought. No, he hasn't fought. He hasn't fought the big name.
Okay, so why would you say Boo? Why would you say Boo was a more history-making fight when you could be a four-way world champion going up to 170?
Hold on. And another question.
I told you why. It's undisputed.
Hold on. Did Demetrius Andrade duck Sergey Deverenchenko?
No, I'm not even gonna say that because he was signed to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders got caught with PED.
Sergey Deverenchenko. Let me finish. They already had an agreement for a deal, and then Demetrius Andrade pulled out. So it's not Demetrius Andrade's fault that he pulled out of the Charlo fight, that he rejected a Janabek fight, that he rejected and pulled out of the Deverenchenko fight. and it's not his fault he didn't fight Zach Parker. Nothing is ever his fault. Do you notice a pattern here?
No,
Consistency
no.
is the word
Zach
you
Parker,
use.
the Zach Parker, and the Janabek is Zach Parker. That wasn't even. No, that's where we're gonna disagree on that.
Okay,
now, he
so
messed
Canelo.
up at first.
Let me ask you a question. Canelo can say, "I don't want to fight." Canelo can say, "I don't want to fight David Benavidez because just like Janabek was his mandatory, Benavidez is mandatory." Canelo can say, "I'm not fighting Benavidez. This guy, he's not a money fight. Let me go fight Jake Paul. That's a money fight. Would that be a duck?"
That's what he did with Andrade.
No, I'm asking, would that be a duck? Would that scenario be I don't want to hear your lies. Would that be a duck in this scenario? Would that be a duck?
Hold up. Would that be a duck if he wanted to fight who would he fight over Benavidez?
Would that be a duck if Canelo said, "I'm not fighting David Benavidez, but I'm going to fight Jake Paul because that's a bigger money fight"? Would that be a duck?
I would still say he's ducking because he's still in that division.
I know. I'm asking you a question. Would that be a duck if Canelo said,
I said yes, and I said yes, and I still said yes.
So that's exactly what Demetrius Andrade did. That's exactly what he did with Janabek. He said, "I'm not fighting my mandatory because I want a bigger money fight." You just body back yourself.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
You just did it to yourself.
No, I did not.
Damn, man.
Yes, you did.
You just did.
You did.
Is that, hey, kid, is that not the same thing?
That is the same damn thing because Andrade was still 160 when Janabek was his thing. Andrade did not Andrade did not want to fight Janabek. That's why he requested the Zach Parker fight.
And how would Janabek help him? Because even IBF was saying he hasn't fought champions. He hasn't fought champions. But then you're naming guys who are not champions.
You beat Janabek, the most dangerous fighter in 160, who everyone was raving about then, saying this guy's going to be the next killer. You beat Janabek at 160. You send a message to the entire 160 division. They say you're the best 160 fighter, even with one belt. They say Demetrius Andrade.
When Janabek got the belt, when Janabek got the belt, yeah, because Andre left.
No, what he has is a clear double standard. It's okay for Demetrius Andrade to say, "I want a bigger fight than this, and I don't have to fight my mandatory." But Canelo has to fight his mandatory
because he's tired of fighting these upcoming guys. He's tired of fighting them. He even said it after the Selecki fight. He's like,
"I don't give a damn who he's tired of fighting." By your definition, the Canelo can go fight Jake Paul, and that's not a duck. By your definition, I don't give a damn what Benavidez is tired of fighting. Janabek was tired of fighting them upcoming guys, and Andrade didn't take the smoke. If you call the duck a duck, I can respect it, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it. If you
I'm not going to call that duck because he wants something bigger. He wants bigger because he wants something bigger. He wants bigger, and now he's fighting David Benavidez. So that's why I was like, if he's ducking, then why is he fighting David Benavidez?
A mandatory is a mandatory.
Okay,
and Canelo can go fight.
Okay, Canelo Alvarez was Boo Boo's mandatory at 154. David Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory at 168. What are we talking about here?
Hold on, was Demetrius Andrade inactive
game
at
too, but it's like
154?
no. But
hold on, let me ask you a question.
I'm sorry?
Was Demetrius Andrade inactive at 154?
After the fact, yes.
Hold on, and did he get?
But he wasn't. But he was when he got the belt. When he got the belt,
get stripped of his belt.
Yes.
And he was inactive for, I believe, over a year and a half.
Correct.
And then Canelo ended up fighting for that belt.
Right, going back down.
So the problem that we have is you can't
going back down. Why would you go back down?
Being ducked. A guy that's not fighting, you can't say somebody's ducked him. Another problem that we have here is you want to talk about mandatories. So if that's what you're saying, if you gotta fight your mandatory, why is it okay for Demetrius Andrade not to fight his? Why won't you just admit that's a duck?
He has been fighting his mandatories.
He didn't fight.
He has been fighting mandatories.
He would fight.
Why would I have to keep? That's what I'm saying.
Fight Janabek. Why?
No, and I'm saying at this point he's like, yo, what the hell, man? He went after Triple G. They sent an offer to Jermall Charlo. What are you talking about here? Keep waiting on these guys. Janabek would have helped him out. Nobody knows about Janabek. What are you talking about?
Hold on, who's the more dangerous fight, Janabek or Chris Eubank?
Honestly, I thought Chris Eubank was.
But Chris Eubank got knocked out by Liam Smith.
That's true. Oh, this is yes. After yes.
The point that I'm trying to make. Hold on. The point I'm trying to make is You're trying to fight one guy for the same money you were trying to fight Janibek, but you threw your title in the trash because you didn't want to fight your mandatory.
Because he's a bigger name.
So if Canelo says, I'm going to fight a bigger name than David Benavidez, that's okay, or is that a duck?
Who's the bigger name?
Jake Paul.
He's not part of the circuit, man. Come on, man.
No.
We're talking about bigger name. We're talking about.
Is he a bigger name? He's ranked by the WBC. Is he a bigger name?
Nah.
Yes or no?
Nah.
Yes, he is.
Nah.
Globally, he's a bigger name than David Benavidez.
Globally, he's a bigger name, but he's
a bigger name.
No.
We're
That's
talking
a
about
celebrity.
your
That's that celebrity stuff. That's the celebrity
you
stuff.
Said that's okay.
But that's why I have my opinion. But that's why I have my opinion.
Exactly.
That's why I was just like, yo, go after this guy. Like, get
but
this
you're being
guy.
a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite because it's okay if Andrade do it, but it's not if Canelo do it. You got to keep the same energy. Just that's all I'm asking.
No. That's a completely different situation. That's a completely different situation. That's like an exhibition. That's not for real. Jake Paul's not for real. You and not both know. You and not both know Jake Paul's not for real.
Hold on. Is it okay that Terrence
Come on, man. Come on, man. Chris Eubank. Come on.
Is it okay that Crawford don't fight his mandatory in Boots Ennis? Was that okay?
No, I have a problem with that. I have a major problem with that. I even said he needs to fight Boots Ennis. I even said that because why? And my reason behind it is because after Jermall fought Canelo, that actually lowered everything for Crawford to fight Jermall because the hype is gone. So I was just like, yo, you got to go after the next best thing, and that's Boots Ennis. Or you could go to Tim Tszyu. I said you either go to Tim. Your next fight, it all depends on your next fight. You're either going to fight Tim Tszyu, Jermall Charlo, or Boots Ennis. Period. So, if you fight anybody else, you're ducking. You fight anybody else, you're ducking.
So it's okay if Crawford has to fight his mandatory. Canelo has to fight his mandatory, but Boo Boo don't have to fight his mandatory.
Not when you're trying to go up and get not when you're going up. Not when you're trying to go up and do other things. And you haven't fought. And you haven't fought a big fight. And you haven't fought a big fight.
So much you want to protect him. He didn't duck Charlo according to you.
I'm not protecting him. I'm not protecting him. I'm not protecting him. I'm not protecting him. I even said that he made mistakes.
No wrong. He ain't never ducked nobody according to you.
Never said that. Never said that.
And he don't have to fight his mandatory.
Never said that. 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 I even said he made mistakes. I was like, yo, he made. In my eyes, no.
Has he never ducked anybody?
In my eyes, no.
No.
I said no. I said no.
So he's never ducked one fight his whole career.
He hasn't ducked any fighter. He pulled out. There's a difference.
There's a list in the chat.
Listen.
Let me go to the son.
I said what I said. I said what I said.
Son, what's your question?
Well, if that's the case, then you acted like he fought Benavidez right off the bat at 168. That was his first fight. And what big fight did he go up to at 168 to avoid Janibek? He went up and fought a scrub in Demond Nicholson. And Janibek is literally better than all the journeymen that Andrade beat.
He does. Okay, but he went up to fight to fight at the next level.
Demond Nicholson. Who's that guy?
Demond Nicholson is a washed journeyman. Janibek's better than him. Was that a legacy fight?
And what champion went after Boo Boo? What champion?
You see,
he went after David Benavidez. He had a conversation with David Benavidez. And who's he fighting right now? Without all the promoters, David Benavidez.
Great, he's finally about to get his cherry.
You can't sit there.
He finally got one fight, but that don't erase the fact that you avoided a guy at 160 and didn't give him his shot because you wanted to fight a low-level fighter like Demond Nicholson. So that's okay with you.
Yeah, Nicholson's at best a D-level.
No, because he was going up. And before Nicholson, before Nicholson, he was scheduled to fight Parker. What are you talking about?
But he did.
He was already on his way to 168.
Hold on. You can't talk about fights he chose not to take.
No, we can't. We're talking about his action.
No. Wait a minute. You want to give
about
him
his
credit
action.
for a fight. Hold on, let me finish. You want to give him credit for a fight that he chose not to take. You got to keep that shit to yourself because nobody want to hear that. If he chose not to fight him, he don't get no cookie for that shit. What are you talking about? Demetrius Andre.
Not for 160. Not for 183K. Not for 183K.
Demond Nicholson. Who's a better fighter, Janibek or Demond Nicholson?
Oh, Janibek, but he went up.
And who's a better fighter, Janibek or Demond Nicholson?
I said Janibek, but he went up.
So he could have got more money, kept his belt.
He's not fighting for a belt. He's like no champions are fighting him, so he's gonna go up. He went up.
And mind
He
you,
went to the next level.
And mind you, he ducked Erislandy Lara because he even said in an interview, "Oh, Lara's style
Oh
is
yeah,
boring."
and I called him a bitch ass nigga when he first said that. But then after the fact, that was at first. I called him a bitch ass nigga myself. No, listen to me. I called him a bitch ass nigga myself, and I was just like, yo, that was a bitch ass move, man. What the fuck? Now you fucked me over because now I'm doubting you. But then later on, he went after Idrisari Lara, and Idrisari Lara said, oh, he outpriced himself, and then Boo Boo said, we never even talked about money yet. We're talking about just a date. We haven't even talked about money. So with me going after you, that's not saying, how am I ducking you if I'm going after you after the fact? And it didn't take years, like a whole bunch of years for that to happen. At first, I was like, yes, you a bitch ass nigga. I was like, yo, Andrew, that's a bitch ass move, because he did say I'd rather fight Charlo because it's a bigger looking fight. It's a better fight. I was like, nah, dog. Don't say that awkward style crap.
So he didn't say that. No, he said I'd rather fight.
He said Charlo.
No, he said I'd rather fight Coque.
No, that's not what he said.
No. He said Charlo's. No, he said Charlo's.
He said Jack Coke. Look what he did.
Said
after
Coque,
Lara.
No, he said I can pull it. No, I can pull it. There's a video that even he says.
This guy right here.
No, but this is what he said. I'm telling you what he says. I'm not lying. I'm telling you what he says. No. It's an interview with him. He said it. He was like, nah, man, he's gonna be running around. Nah, the Charlos, that's who I want to fight. That's who I wanted to fight. And now he was like, yo, that's a bitch ass bitch.
And look, I'm gonna tell you this. And look, and I want to fuck Shakira, but that don't mean it's gonna happen. I mean, I just be honest with you. I want to fuck Shakira. I don't know.
But then later on, he went after Lara. So I'm not calling that a duck.
I go after Lara when he had a chance, and Lara said, "Well, he already ducked the fight. I'm done with it."
And literally,
Jermall Charlo, he ducked the Jermall Charlo fight. They were done with it. You want to double back after you reject the fight? Why do you think there was a big rift between him and the PBC for all those years? Why? Because he left them hanging.
Right, and was there a lawsuit?
Yeah, but what did he do?
It was there a lawsuit.
He fought Jack.
We all know that Boo Boo made mistakes. I'm not even saying Boo Boo. I'm not saying Boo Boo never made any mistakes. I'm not. He made some mistakes.
One fight in his life.
I'm not going to say he ducked. I'm not saying he ducked. I'm not going to say he ducked.
He never ducked.
No, he never. No, I'm not saying he ducked. When I see you going after that person at first I'm like, yo, at first you're ducking, man. Now he's going after you. I'm like, hold up, that's not a duck. When you're trying to pursue, that's no longer a duck. Just like when you say like
so by
shifting
your
a little bit.
if you say because that's not a duck, right?
I'm sorry.
Canelo never has to fight Benavidez because Andrade don't have to fight his mandatory. Canelo don't have to fight his, right? You're being fair, right?
Actually, I am being fair because eventually you're gonna have mandatories, and then you make a decision.
I know, but Andrade didn't fight his. So Canelo don't have to fight his, right? You're gonna be fair to both guys, right? And say neither one has to fight mandatories, right?
No, I'm saying you got to fight the best.
Hold on.
I'm telling you to go after the best.
But he didn't fight the best. He fought DeMond Nicholson. So since he fought DeMond Nicholson and didn't fight his mandatory, if he would have fought the best,
he's going up. He's going up. He went up in weight class.
And that's a duck in weight class. You can go fight a Palatero at any weight. Son, he got a question. Go.
I was gonna say the weigh-in for Benavidez and Andrade's going on right now, and Jermall, Charlo, and Jose, they're on the scale.
Oh, he missed weight. No. Jermall missed weight.
I want to see this.
Oh, yeah, he missed weight.
Jermall missed weight. Jermall missed weight.
Let's hear this.
Jose Benavidez weighed in at 161.
Jermall missed it.
Yeah, Jermall already missed it.
How can you miss a catch weight? That's
exactly what I was telling you.
Yeah. Okay.
And now we got. Okay, I want to see what Jermall.
And I'm gonna tell you what, my brother. I want you on. Again, we got to run this back, me and you, man, because I like really talking to you. It makes me feel good, confidence-wise, to know that I can just come out here and spit nothing but facts. And there's a lot of misguided people that have been told lies from all these dookie butter channels. And I appreciate it, man, because I like to educate people. I like to help people. I like to show people the way to the truth and the light. Because guys thinking that Demetrius Andrade don't have to fight his mandatory, then move up and wait and fight a journeyman. That's okay. So Canelo can move to 175 and fight Joe Smith.
And what after?
Jr.
Okay, so what after Jennebeck? So what after Jennebeck? So after Jennebeck?
You said that's okay.
So after Jennebeck? Okay, so after Jennebeck? So after Jennebeck? What's that gonna do? After Jennebeck, what's that gonna do? After Jennebeck, what's that gonna do?
You said it's his mandatory.
No. What's it gonna do?
I consider that a dangerous opponent. I consider that a dangerous opponent for Andrade, just like you consider.
And you honestly, and you would have gave him credit for that. And you would have gave him credit for that.
Yeah, I got videos
really
saying. I got videos saying before that fight, when that fight was first talked about, he was first mandated. I said if Andrade goes in there and beats this guy, he get all the credit in the world. That's the first good name on his resume. I have videos documenting that. Go back and do your research.
No, I seen that part. I seen that.
And that's
I'm saying you honestly. But then I give you. But no, but that,
if you don't fight this guy, you got to call Andrade a duck. It's like you like the guy, you don't want to say he ducked.
No, I'm not saying I don't want to say. I honestly don't believe he ducked. I gave you my reasonings.
And the reason
I don't understand what you're saying.
Canelo moves up and fights a journeyman at 75. Is that cool? Because that means he's doing exactly what Andrade did, and you're saying it's not a duck.
No, I'm not saying he's. I don't believe Andrade ducked. Andrade ducked. Not when he went up, because he's going up. He's going up to fight. He wants champions. So he wants champions. None of the champions at 160 was trying to fight him. So he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go up.
Look,
and he has to work. He fought DeMond Nicholson, and now he's getting David Benavidez.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't run out of body bags, my brother, but I promise you I will have you on again. This was a great conversation. I appreciate you being so respectful. I appreciate it. I appreciate you telling me.
And I got respect for you. And I got a question for you. You got a problem? Do you have a problem with me commenting?
No, I love your commenting. Now I enjoy it because now I understand why your comments are what they are. People have been lying to you and you believe that shit. That's why. So now I know that you're just being misguided by people that are lying to you. I would give you a little bit of advice. Watch my channel. Stay tuned into me. Stay away from those channels because they're just trying to get views and clicks. I'm not on that shit. I'm just trying to tell you what's happening. That's all I'm saying.
But also, let's keep the record straight. I never said you were racially biased.
And you know what? Since you never said that, I apologize to you, sir. I apologize.
All right.
Thank you, my brother.
So we still gonna talk. We'll talk later.
All right. Salute to everybody. Go bust some cheeks. And Demetrius Andrade's a duck. Salute, family.